Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes, and I'm a spiritual medium channel and an intuitive life coach. So I had a group called the Ascended come to me this morning. They wanted to talk about the only two things we work with here: vibration, high vibration, low vibration, and that you have a choice. You have a choice to be high vibrational or low vibrational, and this is not determined by your possessions. It is determined by your character, whether you're going to be high vibe or low vibe. Hi, good morning. Glad you're able to join. Remember to like, subscribe, share, follow if you have a chance. It helps the channel, and we'll give this information to somebody else who may really need this information. So they came in and said, they asked me, what do I think the difference between a high vibe and low vibe is? And from what they've been telling me all along, I said, well, high vibrational is the closer you get to being one with the divine. And low vibrational is when you get to the darkness of pain and suffering, fear, the darkest places of fear, where I guess some people would call it hell. And I said, yeah, that's pretty much it. But that you have to know you have that choice. You have to know that you have the choice to raise your vibration or lower your vibration. Before we go too much further, I just want to say thank you to everybody for all the incredible birthday wishes on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And another time around the sun. So some of the things that we all use to raise our vibration. There are several functions that everybody uses to raise or lower the vibration. There's what you think, what you believe, because thinking and believing can be two very different things. Thinking, believing, foods, liquids you put in your body, how you act, how you treat others are either high vibrational or low vibrational. Everything you do has a vibration to it. Everything you consume, every word you speak, every thought you think has a vibration to it. As we have articulated that the higher vibrational frequency, the closer to the divine you are operating. And those in positions of working with the divine, you are well familiar with their names. And then there are those who have been at the low vibrational end of the spectrum. That is the vibrational spectrum of fear. And there are many individuals throughout your history that have articulated that low vibrational function of fear, which is not represented by poverty. It's not represented by great wealth. It's represented by the vibrational outcome of one's interaction with the world. Some of the low vibrational beings they're talking about are people like Genghis Khan, Karl Marx, Adolf Hitler, Pol Pot. These are counter examples of like Jesus and Buddha and Yogananda. So they would be at the lower end of the spectrum. Jesus and Buddha, Yogananda would be the high vibrational end of the spectrum because of how they each impacted the world. Now, you can't escape that path. There's only that one path. You're either going to the divine or you're going to darkness. There's only those two directions to go in: high vibe, low vibe, good, evil, love, fear, joy. So we have just that one path between those two polarities of divine love and divine evil. They're saying when a lifetime ends, when a biological lifetime ends, it's important that you understand that you are the vibration that was released when the body ceased to function. Your vibrational state or condition that you've cultivated through the life form that you're currently existing in. In this case, you may be hearing these words or telepathically receiving them. But that function of those vibrations become you, what you learn and evolve into through this lifetime. and you do not break that chain of vibration, you will follow it. You must of your own free will return to the divine or continue in control and power, authority. Again, from the perspective of those in positions of great horror, low vibrational beings, they will have their reward, because eventually you will get to the point where you experience the effects of your own causes. You cannot outrun your own vibration. You can change it, but you cannot outrun it. Many will attempt to find redemption from the evils that they propagate in this world by waiting until the very last minute, recognizing that there is a consequence that is revealed to them for the actions that each and every one of us throughout the experience of physical existence will always reap what we sow. And we are always able to change what we sow. That is the one grace that every single soul in this dimension has, is you have the grace of choice, that you may choose, and you are choosing all of the time, whether you see someone that is very low vibrational or very high vibrational. Each is exercising the exact functional faculty of choice. There is no escaping that reality. You will always reap the effects of your choosing, and your choosing allows you to change what effects you will reap. Additionally, with your awareness, you can alter and change your vibration and raise it if you wish at any time. But more often than not, at the moment of the transition from the physical form to the non-physical dimensions, you leave with the knowledge, the wisdom, and experience vibrationally that you've acquired. And the vibrations that you have offered to this world, when you come back into this world, it's the vibrational energy that you bring back into the world that begins to coordinate and orchestrate such things as who your parents will be, what country you will reside in, what exceptional experiences will you be born into, who are the people you will be surrounded by. Will you be born in a place of war or a place of peace? Will you be born somewhere in between? Each and every soul's vibration determines the functional outcome of where they will end up reincarnating. And so it's really important that you understand that you have authority while you are conscious enough to choose. You must be conscious enough to choose. Consciously choosing, I'm no longer going to be this way, I'm going to choose to be this way. And then you must learn to live that choice in order for the vibration to be perpetuated forward into your experiential timeline. If that is, if you're doing multiple reincarnations into this dimension, then you want to make certain that each subsequent progression is going to be raising you up. And that becomes an act of your own free will. So there's that moment where people try to change the evil they've done at the last second. And it's very rare that they'll get redemption from their own causations, right? We all get to experience the effects of our own causes. There's no escaping that. That's one thing you're guaranteed. They made that very clear this morning. You cannot escape the effects of your own causes, but you can change the causes that produce effects. That's the one thing we have is our free will. I like that. Hello, Bridget. Hello, Ian. Hello, Jacqueline. Hi there. Welcome. Just going to see if there's any questions I've missed here. Hi. Thank you for coming out. Glad you're able to join. Imagine that. Let's say hi. There we go. Hello. So this subject of our vibration, that's the only function that we actually can perform independent of the divine, but not independent of its effects, because the divine is always reacting and responding to us. But that's the only function we have, is choice, the ability to choose. Hi. Oh, you saw that meditation on Patreon, eh? That was really cool. That was really cool. Yeah. Drusilla's talking about our meditation on restoring the body. I'm curious, Drusilla, how did it affect you? I'm curious how your body felt after that. Hi, welcome. For those of you on TikTok, we're talking about a Patreon-only live event that was done on the 7th of this month. And it was on restoring your body, how to restore the body. And they literally took us on a journey of going through virtually every physical part of the body and initiating a function of restoration in every cell of the body. It was really cool. Yeah. Drew says, I feel so much better than I did a few days back. Yeah, if you do that meditation 3 or 4 times, it's going to lock it in. One thing I'll say about the Ascended Masters, when they do meditations through me, they're unbelievable. Just incredible. Yeah, please do it again. Yeah, the more the merrier. Hi, for those of you that are on TikTok, remember to tap that screen. Remember to share the live. Bring other people the opportunity to get this information. Indeed. So this consideration that they came to me with this morning about high vibe or low, you get so anybody being born, you're being born into the vibrational conditions that match where you evolve your consciousness to. Because the body will cease to exist one day, but your consciousness will go forward. Kind of like you're like the butterfly in the cocoon. That's what your body is, a cocoon where you learn and grow and evolve in this dimension. Then you can change and evolve your vibration up or down. And that's essentially what they're saying. So we have that power to do that. Hi. There we go. Well, it does work that way. I'm not going to do that. Hi, Ian. Ian's asking on YouTube. Let's see. Hi, William. If we are so loved by the divine, how come the most evil and vile are allowed to be in high positions of power for so long? They're giggling right now. You are measuring your experience of time by the value of a single lifetime. These individuals that have achieved that will eventually come back home. But there's certainly no intent to make a person evil. Each individual comes to the manifestation of their own choices. Your character, your world, your experiences reflect the repetitive and common systems of belief that you hold on to and have feelings about. Any thoughts or emotions that you have feelings about will bring a force of creation into play, whether you are what you call good or evil. Everyone in this realm of human experience is a participant in the function of creation, whether you are good or evil. Each one will eventually lead you back to the divine. And this is something you must be very, very considerate about, that you will eventually get back to the divine, although you may go through very difficult periods of suffering, as many in lifetimes. Even in this lifetime, you can see that there are wars and there are diseases and there's greed and there's evil things that are going on in this world. But those that perpetuate them and those who experience the opposite of that become what you would call their victims, are participants equally. There is not one in the function of creation that does not participate fully and completely in what you are all doing here. Each and every one of you is exercising your function of free will and choice and establishing, evolving, and developing a particular vibration that will, of its own accord, result in you experiencing very specific things in your world. The vibration of your being is what orchestrates your experiences. If your vibrations are love and goodness and compassion and kindness and patience and persistence and creativity, well, there's a very different set of experiences that evolve from those. Whereas if you are being greedy and mean and terrible and not a nice being, there are consequences equally for that. But none of you can escape the effect of your own causing, but you can always change the causing and therefore change the effects. That is the one beautiful gift of free will that all of you were given, that you may suffer or prosper from your own free will. You do not have to be good. You do not have to be bad, but you will experience what your choices result in. And what we say is bad, we say is low vibrational. What we say is good is high vibrational. Those who know how to change their vibration will find the peace, the happiness, and the contentment that is more important than anything in this world. Things in your world, your money, your possessions, they are temporary, as is your body. You need to find out what is the immortal, what is the eternal, and seek that out. What is the eternal highest vibration? What is the eternal lowest vibration? For there are a low vibration and a high vibration, and both have an endless spectrum of expression. Oh, yeah. Well, Drusilla is asking, I thought we had chosen our parents. Well, yes, your vibration set up the exact parents you would have, the circumstances you would come into, the people you would have surrounding you. That was all mapped out by the vibration that you developed and cultivated from previous lifetimes. You know, you look at, now what's a good example? You look at a rosebud that's on the branch and it's closed up tight. And it starts to open. There's many levels and layers of these petals inside. And your lifetimes are like that. You add a petal, and each generation, not generation, but each regeneration of your life into a new life form, you have with you the sum total vibrational content of being that you've created from all your previous lifetimes. And that vibration is what determines the parents you're going to have. Many of the things that unfold in your life will be because of that initial vibration, which is why it's so important to learn to control and regulate your own vibrational frequency, which you can do. You got a body that you have to learn to regulate. You've got a mind that you have to learn to regulate, and you've got emotional energy, and they all result, when they combine, they result in experiences. And if you do not know how to control or regulate or manage the vibration of the body, the mind, or the emotions, then you will feel like you're out of control. And most people have been taught to think that they have no control over their thoughts, their emotions, or the impact of their memories upon them. But everyone does. Irrespective of what you've been told, you have an ability. You have an ability to orchestrate your mind, your emotions, and your body to raise your frequency very quickly. In a single lifetime, you could find divine grace in a single lifetime. Sorry, just scrolling down here. Hello, good morning. Just scrolling down here. Welcome, glad you're here. So So we're talking about the subject of high vibration or low vibration. That's the only choices that all the people on this planet have a choice between. You can be a high vibrational being or a low vibrational being by what you choose to think, feel, say, and do. And all of those things, you have a choice over what you will think. That you always have a choice over what thought you will hold in your mind. And that will set in motion vibrations that will affect your mind and your emotions and your body. Hi. Let's go here. Well, again, if other people have affected you adversely in your life, somebody's saying they've had a lot of difficult times and their personality has been badly affected by these people. And I do understand what it's like to have a very nice personality one day and then be treated in such a way that you change your personality. But ultimately, you are the one that has the power and capability to reorient your personality as an act of your own free will. You literally have the power of choice to restructure your whole personality makeup once you know how to do that and the mechanisms that are required to be able to do it. Yeah. By the way, our mediumship class, Masterclass 101 Awakening, begins with the orientation yesterday morning at at 11 a.m. And I just wanted to say something that's really important, that you understand that the course is a mediumship program. It's not for people that are really, really not interested in other dimensional experiences. It's really for people that really want to explore connecting to their guides, their angels, the ascended masters, loved ones, which you can learn to do. It's not a course. It's not some course for you to just come and humor yourself at. It's literally a course for you to learn to connect to your guides, your angels. And unless you want to do that, then you don't want to take this course. You actually want to find something that's going to be a little more practical. This course is primarily for mediumship, learning to connect to your guides, your angels, ascended masters, and other multi-dimensional beings. If you want to know more about that, go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and come join us for the weekend's over. Thank you. Oh, I didn't realize I can do that. Things you learn. Hello, sunshine. Hello, Kira. I am far from perfect, and I know I have to work on myself. Everybody does until they don't. Like when Jesus returned to God, his personality was perfected. Even his personality was a perfect reflection of the divine. He was the embodiment of the divine, as was Yogananda. He reached that level of union with the divine. There was no line of demarcation between the personality of the individual and the expression of the divine. So what was said and done through their bodies was a reflection of the divine working through them in that way. Hello, Amanda. Good morning. Okay, let's do that. There we go. Yeah. We shall go there. As long as you carry a particular emotion in your conscious or subconscious mind, you're sustaining and maintaining certain conditions in your life. I speak from experiences that when you hold on to certain specific emotions in your mind or in your body, they are responsible for creating very specific conditions in your life. Even before you could speak or walk or talk, you came into this world with a vibrational state. And that vibrational state, as your body was being gestated in the womb, your vibration was coming into this world as the body evolved enough to hold it, because the body has to grow enough to contain the energy of your soul effectively. And your vibrational energy comes in more and more. So even while you're not even born out of the womb yet, your energy is already creating situations and circumstances that match your frequency, just as it's done the same thing for your parents or your siblings or your great-grandparents. Your energy already begins organizing the life you're going to come into, including the body. The body is in effect of the vibrational state that you've accumulated over lifetimes. And now you've come into a physical form, and the body will be reflective of the vibrational state of your consciousness. And this is not an assessment of good or bad or right or wrong. It's just an assessment that the body is organized by your vibrational state, even before it's born. Important thing to know. Oh, we got a super chat here. Hello, Ian. Thank you for that super chat. William, if someone seems to be fated to be poor, can they still, with power of their minds, can they become more wealthy? Absolutely. Anyone can become more wealthy if that's what's important to them. Wealth can give you a lot of security, but you really need to know that everything in your life should have a function and purpose. Everything in your life should have a function and purpose, right? But yeah, anybody can learn to change the vibrational frequency they have. I mean, you could have come from a war-torn country in your previous lifetime. Maybe as a soul, you migrated from Korea, or you migrated from World War II or World War I, or another war. You migrated into this lifetime. then you brought with you the vibrations from that lifetime. Those vibrations from that lifetime may be one of fear and terror and anger, and so you create situations that will match that. But yes, anybody can learn the process of changing their vibrational energy. If your financial situation is a certain way in your life right now, then that's because the vibrational energy you have as a being in relationship to money is what you observe it to be. If you don't have much money, you haven't made money that important in the right kind of ways. But what they keep telling me, they said your function of service must transcend your call for wealth or power. Your function of service must transform your call for wealth or power. As your function of service, as we would articulate for you, would be a divine function, that of elevating yourself up to knowing the function of yourself at its highest and most beautiful expression. But yes, you can change the vibrational energy you have around your experience of what you call wealth. But it is not necessary, although every great master has always had ample and more than ample supply to take care of themselves. They did not desire, or their function of being was not for the motivation of money, but for the motivation of love. All your ascended masters, their function of motivation was a function of love, not a function of acquiring wealth or power. And that was more powerful than anything else. The one that you call Jesus, of course, he gave up his physical expression because he felt that the vibrational impact he would have upon the world would be more important than the experience of remaining in that body. And as such, he was able to resurrect it because of his knowledge and fearlessness around the idea of recognizing there is no such thing as death when you're understanding the life of the all-loving divine God, which is all about life. Yes. Yes. So yes. And even Yogananda on stage, when he passed away, all he had was a book and a crowd of people, and that's it. Right? So we have that power. Everybody has the power to change it. And he had his ashrams, he had students and followers. But again, it's not about money. If you make the journey about money, it's you can get a lot of money, but if you lose yourself in that, it's not much fun either. Don't lose yourself in it. Great question, Ian. Thank you so much. Hello, Yolanda. Thank you so much for that. Thanks for tapping the screen. Much appreciated. Thank you for the gift. Thank you so much. Hello, Marta. Hello, Marta. Good to see you. Hi, William. Sending you huge hugs to you and Norma. Well, and back to you, darling. Much love to you and your daughter. It was such a pleasure meeting you at the Brickworks in Toronto, and we will be back again someday. We're just not sure when, but thank you so much for stopping by. Drusilla, when I was pregnant with my late son, a toddler looked and pointed at me and was saying, "Baby." I found out about 20 minutes before that I was pregnant. Yes. Children are telepathic from ages, I mean, we're all telepathic, but most of that telepathy ability gets lost between ages 0 and 7, where so much of our attention is pulled into the outside world of sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell, that the inner faculty of telepathy, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, those inner faculties don't get developed. But that's wonderful that you got to witness that in a child, because they knew the baby word. They knew the baby word too. They were just ready to let you know that. Yeah, they all know. Hello, Jasmine. Welcome. I was plane landing, and the touchdown was crazy from wind as we hit the ground. A woman laughed and broke the fearful feeling everyone felt. It was a high vibe landing. That's wonderful. I'm glad you're safe and sound. Yeah, it's amazing what love and joy will do. Why, thank you very much, Marta. Yeah, we are happy, and we're in that process right now of getting ready to migrate south for the winter before it gets too wintry here. Got to see from my first frost in 3 years. Hello, Wilderness. Was Jesus 40 days in the desert his fight with his ego, and was there an actual devil? Yes, and yes, there is an actual devil. There is an actual devil. It's a low vibrational entity, and you can use the term Satan, but it's the lowest vibrational manifestation of fear, power, and control and authority. You can see where that energy lives in places where there's mass murder going on, or huge swaths in the political realm. Lots of dark, low vibrational entities that are what I call demons that follow that being that you're talking about in government, right? Mostly in government, and then those who rule the government. But yeah, Jesus did overcome the devil there, and he absolutely overcame his ego, and he surrendered his will to God. That was where he completely. That was the last place where he was separate from God. That's the place where he realized God and I are one. That he realized he could not choose, and he could, because Jesus could have become very wealthy and very powerful with the knowledge and skills that he had, and just being able to heal people with your touch. In today's world, people would flock to. So he could have all kinds of money and power. That's not what it's about for him, and it shouldn't be about that for you either. It should really be about you knowing that God is in you, God loves you, and you're free to do anything you want in this dimension, but there will be effects and consequences. High vibe or low vibe. I asked that question because it's so hard to spiritually progress when you're worrying or struggling about money. Yes, I truly do know that, but and as hard as that can be to accept, we still need to learn to hold on to the energy of wealth, the feeling of prosperity, to sit and keep your energy in the feeling of wealth, prosperity, vitality. Right. And if the money is something that's going to be conducive to you reaching your connection to the divine, it will be provided. Right. Good and evil will provide you with everything you need to get to either one of them. Right. You'll be provided with either one. Right. Yeah, no, I do. The wilderness is great significance. Yeah, 40 days and 40 nights. That was deep. That was 40 days of very deep, profound meditation and fasting in order to completely divest his attachment to the egoic structure. Moses did the same thing when Moses went up onto Mount Sinai and looked at the burning bush, which is Mount Sinai is a metaphor for climbing up to the top of the temple, the top of your temple, pineal gland. And Moses was physically changed, profoundly changed physically. He came down and he was illuminated by the light. It's unfortunate that not everybody understood what that meant or what the light meant. Anyway, the function of love is very specific in what it will provide you with, and the functions of fear are very specific. And not having money might be the thing that you need. Not having money might be the thing that you need to make your relationship with the divine more important than any earthly consideration. To make your relationship to the divine more important than any other consideration, first and foremost. But yeah, Jesus it took 40 days. Moses took 40 days. Elijah took 40 days. Where he finally crossed that threshold. I don't know what it was for Yogananda. He's never told me. I've never asked. So he just said to me, when you know it's only myself all through. Hello, Kimberly. Hello. I've been called to do a long-term fast. What's the appropriate time? Well, my mind is jumping in here. Let me see if I can get my mind out of the way. And my mind is giving you all kinds of William stuff. I'm getting like water fasting will be very powerful for you and done over a weekend period, 2 or 3 weekends in a row. I'm getting from like a Friday at 6 p.m. till Sunday at 6 p.m. Yes. If you feel the If the body struggles with that, we would also suggest that you use 1 or 2 tablespoons of what you would call syrup from trees that you can use to maintain the foundational needs of the body's minerals to operate during those days. And that would be like once or twice a day, you do 1 or 2 tablespoons of that. There's also a cleanse that I remember doing a long, long time ago called the Master Cleanse. You might want to look at the Master Cleanse too, but have fun with what they just said. Let's see. So someone's saying here, last one I was on had your name and the 2 first letters from your last name. The 2 first letters, Forbes is my last name. Hi. We reap what we sow. Thank you so much. Just scrolling down here. There we go. I want to try that. Never learned about fasting. Yeah, fasting's a master cleanse is where you basically just eat cayenne pepper, apple juice, and maple syrup for different periods of time. I did it for 40 days. Is what I was guided to do it for 40 days. And it's an amazing thing. I can understand why breatharians can go without food completely. They've learned to live off the prana. I can understand that. If I had known about that at that time when I did that, I might have gone that extra step, because in breatharians, they don't even have to prepare food. They just drink water and live off the pranic air all around them all the time. Hi, Kimberly. Thank you for that. Thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate it. Yes. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So yeah, if you ever come to this channel, we're live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, generally speaking. And I'm going live in the evening on TikTok as well, because it's really important that you understand that you're in a very powerful, a very austere time for humanity, where we get to choose our next incarnation as a species. We're literally in that process, a decision-making process of what is the next human manifestation of consciousness going to be, because we are collectively creating what is coming. Every single living soul in this dimension we are creating what is coming and what is happening all around you, your cities, your towns, your cars, everything that is around you. There's a fabrication of your creative consciousness. Well, the products of your creative consciousness don't just result in the types of homes you have. It doesn't just result in the clothing you wear or the things you eat. It also is reflected in what is to come. What do you grow into? Just like the seed of the rose becomes a rose bush, and the rose bush produces roses, so too does the seed of each human expression. Let us change that to each humanoid expression results in a different manifestation from the previous. In other words, what you are as a species right now, humanly speaking, is a product of previous civilizations that also dancing through the journey of time and space and matter. And you are the product of that which was before, and there will be something will be a product of that which you've become, which can be good or not so good, because some of your civilizations have been very high functional, and some of your civilizations have been very low vibrational functional. And we do not wish to articulate to you the position you're currently moving towards as a collective species and what will come from this. Again, you are predominantly more attached to your energies of concern and fear, when the function of love and goodness and gratitude would be very beneficial for your species as a whole to see what shall come next. You have asked, where are the missing links to our predecessors, the ones you call Neanderthals and Cro-Magnon? Well, they never ended. It has continued to be a product of the transformative nature of your vibration. And before the ones that you're familiar with, there were others, great giant beings, trees that you would never even believe existed in this world. but you are living in the vibrational product of that which was before. Just as when you come into a single incarnation, you come into the vibration of that which you were before, and you carry on from there. Wow. Hi. Thank you so much. Oh, and thank you. Thank you, Kimberly. Appreciate that. Yeah. I didn't come live last night because I was entreated to a wonderful birthday dinner in town here. So I was out for a wonderful dinner. Crystal, will my hair grow long again? How can I best support that? Again, if you can get your own good source of vitamin B complex, you want to do that. You want to get something that you can use to bring your vitamin B up, preferably in the B complex range, B5, B12, B6, B3. There's I can give you a list. Here, actually, I'll post a link. Just give me a second there. Give me a second here. Because this is the thing that I want. I'm going to put a link to something. There we go. There we go. I'm going to just copy this link here. I'm going to go back over to StreamYard. Give me a second here. I'm going to post the link to go to. This is the vitamin B you want to get. Okay. That's the link you want to get. I don't know if you can capture that link. Hopefully you can capture that link. Maybe there's a really simple. I can also do a screenshot. Yeah, let me do a screenshot. Oh, that's okay. Command option 4. Hang on, I'm just trying to do a screenshot here for you. So this stuff is called, if you write this down, come on. Okay, I'm getting the screen grab right now. Give me a second here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Now I'll be able to get this for you. Close that. Close that. So this is the thing if you want. If you got your hair falling out, this is what you're going to want to put in there. Let's see if I can get media assets. Let's see if I can I'm just trying to get a more. Give me a second to get a file here. Add a file. So this stuff will work for you. I've had a dear friend who recently I gave her a couple of these and she used them. And her hair stopped falling out. It was falling out really badly. She said it was just coming out by the handfuls and she was afraid she was going to end up bald. But I hope you can get that link off my YouTube channel. I'm trying to find out where this thing went. Okay. I do have the screenshot of it. Anyway, the stuff is called, I'll show you the box. Maybe you can take a screenshot of it. Where did I put you guys? Where did I put you guys? Give me a second. I just want to find this. This person. Where'd you go? They're there. Found him. Okay. So this is what you want to get. Cancel that. This is what you're going to want to get. Okay. That's the stuff you want to get. Or something similar to that. Okay. That will help your hair stop falling out. You're low on B vitamins. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just giving you information I have experienced. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're also in the, as you can see behind me, we're in the process of packing, putting stuff away so it stays dry and not damp while we're away. Oh, you're very welcome, Crystal. I don't know if you can get, I don't know what country you're in there to get this type of injectable vitamin B. It costs about anywhere from $80 to $150 to get a shot from a doctor, to get it prescribed. But there are some places, I don't know about in Canada, but certainly in Mexico and the United States, you can buy those yourself over the counter and just, you can use them yourself. I'll leave it at that. Hi. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming out. Can you share more about your channeling course? Can everyone channel? Daytimes, benefits? Yeah. The truth is, everybody has the capacity to channel, and everybody is at various levels. What channeling is, or what being a medium is simply being able to open up pathways to information that are important and relevant to whatever situation you're in. Whenever you require a situation or information, you can request that information and immediately you can get that. So the course is designed to teach anyone how to open up their faculties, their spiritual faculties, because your ears are already working, your eyes are working, but your spiritual ears, your spiritual eyes need to be opened up. So the master class is about teaching people how to, one, follow certain practical processes where you learn to connect to your guides and angels, where you actually learn to hear, sense, feel, and know their presence around you. And then to learn how to translate the information they give to you at one frequency into a way you can understand it. And that's where a lot of people get excited, because once you start learning how to sense their energy, you can start building an understanding of how you communicate with them. Just like when you came into this physical world, you couldn't walk, you couldn't talk, you couldn't do virtually anything on your own, but the world interacted with you and conditioned you to experience and interact with it according to the way that you currently do. But during that time, you didn't know how to walk. You didn't know how to, you actually had to be exposed to that experience of sounds and smells and touches and tastes in order for your body to learn how to interact with this world. Well, the same thing's true with the spiritual dimensions. You need to learn how to teach your spiritual senses to see, to hear, to feel, to know. And Master Jesus and other ascended masters are very expert at that. They've learned to hear the voice of the divine, to see it, how it works in their world, to know it and to feel it all the time. So you want to learn to embody it. And then there's all the different individuals that will assist you on that journey, your guides, your angels, ascended masters, even your loved ones. But I will say this, you come into this course, your life will change for the better. Some wonderful things will happen in your life. It's going to change. Yeah, the classes are Sunday to Friday, with the exception of tomorrow where we do the orientation tomorrow. The classes run from Sunday to Friday every week for 3 weeks, starting this Sunday. We do the orientation tomorrow. Every single class is recorded and placed upon a private Facebook group wall where you can review any class that you weren't able to watch at your own, according to your own schedule. And that group wall is open 24/7, so you can go there anytime. So it doesn't matter where in the world. We've had students, we have students from Australia, we have students from Europe, we have some students from Asia, Korea, Japan. We've had students from all over, and they've been able to manage the course just fine and elevate their energy up as a result. And many of them are actively channeling and practicing and changing their lives, because some of them don't want to go into being mediums. Some people want to learn mastery over their mind, mastery over their emotions, how to restore your body. It's not just a course for mediumship. There are other facets that are integral, like eating proper food is integral to being able to be a spiritual medium, because you want to be the healthier and the more vibrant the body is, the easier it will be to connect to higher vibrational beings. So it's not just for connecting to your guides and angels. It's also about improving your mind, your emotional field, learn to change the vibrational frequency of your mind, your emotions, and your body at any time. In addition to learning how to work with your energy centers, opening up the spiritual faculties, which you will learn by certain practices you'll be going through using divination tools. And again, we always say any divination tools like cards or pendulums, crystals, these in and of themselves have no special properties. They do have the ability to stimulate a function of your consciousness that has been made dormant by the world. But these devices, when used correctly, will activate these internal faculties in the simplest and most effective way I've certainly ever seen anybody go through. Okay, I think she's got that link now. There we go. Thank you. But that's a great question. Thanks for asking. So the schedule, Sundays at 3, from 3 to 4 p.m. is Desiree's class. On Monday, 4 to 6 p.m. On Tuesday, it's 11 to 12. On Wednesday, it's 4 to 6. On Thursday, it's I believe 11 to 12. And Friday is 4 to 6 p.m. And that's the time schedule. Those are the class times for each of the 3 weeks. So as you can see, it's going to be about 30 to 40 hours of practice and learning over the 3 weeks. And again, you'll be introduced to different types of foods that you can eat to raise the vibration of your body, different types of ways you can breathe to change the vibration of your body, different ways you can learn to think that will change the vibration of your world. You can learn to change the vibration of your world. Yes, you certainly can. Hello. Hello, hello. Drusilla is saying, I'm getting monthly infusions, but I think I'm going to try that. The vitamin B12, the B12 complex is very good. There's different types of B vitamin I've heard apparently, but this is the one that I use. Right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the live, Yolanda. Thank you so much. So every day from now till the end of the month, or just Sundays? No, it runs on starting this Sunday. We have an orientation cell on our first Saturday, just to give people an overview of the course, and that's recorded as well. So anybody, if you come a couple days late, you can still see the orientation and understand the flow of the course and why it's going to happen the way it is. And it runs from Sunday at 3, right through till 3 weeks the following Sunday. But it's only from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, as the hours I've already explained. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 hours, 4 to 6 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 to 12, and Sundays, 3 p.m. Again, we have 2 other mediums and our holistic nutritionist who's been practicing for over 20 years. You'll learn a lot from her too. Hi. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. And then build from that. Yes, as Yolanda said. And then you build from that, because Masterclass 101 is all about the process of accelerating your awakening. A lot of people are waking up to these different dimensions. I'm hearing voices and things like that. And medically speaking, people are being told there's something wrong with them, but you're actually, a part of you is trying to reactivate spiritual faculties of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance. But you don't want to just open those faculties up, because if you've been living a very painful, angry, frustrating life, then you'll pull those vibrations in. You need to learn how to shift your vibration from a low frequency higher. And you'll learn that literally within the first 4 days of the course. Your energy will be completely different than it is right now. Releasing fear heals our past lives and future lives, as well as now and now in the moment. Yes, it does do that. So we can do the course if we are working and watch it later? Absolutely. Every single class is recorded and placed upon the private group wall. Everybody tonight that's already registered will receive their package on how to prepare. You will receive your study guide and your itinerary, and your itinerary will give a list of all the dates and times of the course with active links. So you can click on the day of an event, click the link in your itinerary, and it will take you there. If you're unable to make an event, that event will be recorded and placed upon a private Facebook group wall for you to read according to your time and your schedule. So yeah, absolutely, you will not miss a class. Hi, thank you so much. Yeah, the replays are always available. Again, right after the class, yeah, we all record the live events and they get posted upon the private Facebook group wall. So even if you can't make a class or make a particular class, you'll always be able to watch the replay. And with particular consideration, you're going to want to watch all the replays because you'll really understand it differently at a different level each and every time. Yeah, we have some of our students are watching from on YouTube. Approve. So someone's here. Money Boss is asking, will this help me get out of whatever blah vibe I am in? I cannot get my old vibe, money vibe back. Yes, it will help you shift your vibrations around money as well. We have lots of students that have changed their financial prospects as a result of learning how to change the emotional energy around money. But yes, absolutely, without exception, once you change your vibration around anything, then the existing circumstance in your life will change to match it. And that's the way it is. It can be frustrating as heck when you see this, when you know that the situations that you're in are products of your own creative effort. It really it gives you an opportunity to become accountable for your emotional energy. But yeah, we have people come out of clinical depression, clinical anxiety. We've had people come out of conditions where the body is not very healthy, and now they're living in very healthy, happy bodies. Miracles are natural phenomena of how you use energy. You know that? Miracles are natural phenomena of how you use energy. And I cannot tell you how many times, virtually every one that's ever come to the class are blown away by the first day or two. They're just unbelievable. And you go check out the testimonials on my testimonial page, williammichaelforbes.com/testimonials. And you'll see with your own eyes what other people have experienced. But without exception, everybody's lives have been changed for the better. Hi. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. Glad you made it. Thank you for the hearts. So appreciated. Do you have to perfect to be ascended, or can you integrate your shadow self? It's not about integrating the shadow self. It's about transforming its functional energy from one state to another. So you can call that an integration if you want. You can call that a form of integration where you're transforming the energy of the old self into the functional vibration of a new self. That only the soul, only you can do that. Your mind and body cannot remake themselves. Your mind and body cannot remake themselves. Either you have to influence them or something outside of you influences you. Right? Something within you or something outside you will influence you. But it's better to be the one doing it. Yes. Hi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Glad you joined. Hello. Watching people fly in and fly out. How are we doing here? 10:58. I've got a vehicle to pack up today. Time to pack. Only a couple more days left. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yes, I like that. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, so the masterclass is designed to give you the simplest, easiest to apply tools to lift your energy from a low vibrational frequency to a higher vibrational frequency. The only thing you're here to do is to create. The only thing that you're here to do in this lifetime is to create. And it's true for any lifetime. You came to learn the function and practice of creation, just like the divine made you in its image and likeness, because it made you as it is, so that you can emulate the function of that consciousness, but still have the free will to do the opposite. Gosh, what a gift free will is, eh? When you think about it, you're given a gift that lets you choose to produce any experience you want, good or not so good. And that someone, a consciousness that makes you gay, says, here, you go do that if you want to. If you want to do that, do that. I got to say, there's this one, yeah, no, I'll leave that. Okay. They told me to leave it alone. I am practicing to be an expression of the divine. Will come. Yes, you are. Everybody is. Everybody, whether you know or not, you're actually in the process of learning to become the divine, whether you know it or not. Thank you for liking the live, Kathy. Really appreciate the hearts. Tappity tap. We had one woman. We had over 60,000 likes the other evening on TikTok. That was pretty cool. Never had 60,000 before. It was fun. Thank you so much. Don't work too hard. Yeah, well, sometimes good hard work is fun too. I used to love doing that. But yeah, you got to pack everything up, get the food ready to go, and just a few more days and be out of this now frosty Canada, getting frosty up here. Hi. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and follow. Yes. I'm going to put this up on for those of you that want to know more about our courses, our classes, you can go to linktree/william.m.forbes.9. If you want to know more about courses, classes, readings, private sessions, anything like that, go to Linktree and look up william.m.forbes.9. Right. I got to figure out how to use links on my TikTok channel as well. Thank you so much. Oh, there we go. Okay, go comment there. Let's see what we got. Pamela, only take the courses if you want to find yourself. Somebody just said that on YouTube. Only take the courses if you want to find yourself. And yes, thank you, Drusilla. Pamela, thank you so much. Casey, thank you for that super chat. Casey's asking, hi, William, miss you. Happy birthday. I'm guided to build an AI interface for healing. I believe it will be successful. What do you see it becoming on your end? Exactly what you said. They're going to be open because there's going to be many people that are going to be coming towards you. But you've been given the function to learn the healing matrix. That's really cool. Thank you, Casey. Yes, it will be very successful if you continue to approach it from the place of love that you're doing it from. Stay in that vibe, right? Because there are many, right? These new med beds and other things that are technology is just out of reach of the average person, and yet there's lots of people that are learning how to heal without having to wait for that technology to come. So yeah, I get very strongly, it will do very well. Be prepared for the influx of people that are going to help you with this project, because there'll be an influx of people that are going to help you with that project, right? Still warm in England. Would love Canada to send some snow. Oh boy, you really want snow? I snow. Yeah, I used to love walking in the crunching sound of snow underfoot, and I've spent many winters in Canada, and I'm now switching over to spending more summers away from Canada in the winter. But yeah, well, if you want, Ian, I'll ask the divine to send you a few snowflakes before Christmas, for sure. Be careful what you wish for, though. Sometimes the few can become the many, right? It happens. We were in our last Patreon event on the 7th, somebody asked a question about weather modification. Can the soul, can you, can the average person affect and influence weather? And the answer is yes. But most people are not conscious of that function, so you don't see too much craziness going on. But there are lots of people that are familiar with how to affect and influence the weather with their consciousness. So if we send you some snow, we'll try not to send too much. Yeah, maybe give you like a Vancouver snowfall that's like half a centimeter and it's there for a few hours and it goes away. That would be something to do. Yeah, okay. Okay, we can do that. We can ask for that for you. Yeah, you're welcome, Casey. As you keep going forward with it, because the help will come. Share your idea with those that have knowledge greater than your own. Only share this idea from this point forward. Only share this idea with those who have knowledge greater than your own, that they can teach you and help you grow more intimately into the understanding of the function of divine healing. Oh, cool. Hello. So now I have to get some stuff done, folks. I want to say thank you, everybody, for coming out. Thank you for the incredible birthday wishes. I will put a post out on Facebook and Instagram and a few other places where I got birthday wishes. But for those of you that were extended your birthday wishes to me, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. They were received, and it made a difference. Every extension of love is a wonderful thing. I want to wish you all a joyful day. Remember, sign up for Masterclass 101 Awakening. It begins tomorrow with the orientation at 11 a.m. And then you'll be in a 3-week program from Sunday to Friday every week for the next 3 following weeks. And it's going to be an amazing, eye-opening journey. I mean, eye-opening. Much love, everybody. Have yourself a wonderful and a joyful day. Bye for now.